In today's video, we're diving into a shocking revelation that has rocked the Christian community to its core. Joni Lamb and his siblings have come forward with explosive allegations against the leadership of Daystar television network, revealing deep family divisions and serious claims of financial mismanagement, spiritual abuse, and personal betrayals. As tensions within the Lamb family escalate, we'll explore the impact these revelations have on the future of one of Christian broadcasting's most influential names. Join us as we unravel the story behind these allegations and examine what it means for Daystar's legacy. The growing tensions within the Lamb family and Daystar television network. The Christian community has been rocked by an explosive series of events that have left many questioning the integrity of Daystar television network. Once known for its unwavering commitment to faith and unity, the network is now the center of controversy, with its very foundation being challenged by none other than Joni Lamb, the son of the network's late co-founder Marcus Lamb. Joni's criticisms and allegations about the network's leadership have sent shockwaves through the community, stirring up not only family drama, but also raising critical questions about financial transparency, ethical leadership, and accountability. Joni Lamb, a voice of dissent. Joni Lamb, who grew up with the network and has spent his entire life within its fold, has recently emerged as one of the most vocal critics of Daystar television network's current leadership. His deep-rooted concerns regarding the network's direction, especially after the passing of his father Marcus, have led him to make bold public statements that have garnered significant attention. Joni's criticisms are not just about the actions of the network's leaders, but also about the larger implications for the ministry that Daystar has become over the years. At the heart of Joni's accusations lies what he sees as the mismanagement of funds, particularly the lavish expenditure of money on a honeymoon trip taken by his mother, Joni Lamb, and her new husband, Doug Weiss. The honeymoon, reportedly costing around $100,000, was covered by Daystar, a ministry funded by donations from its devoted supporters. For Joni, this was not just a personal betrayal, but a breach of the trust placed in the network by its audience. He has argued that Daystar, which was founded on the principles of faith, community service, and stewardship of finances, has strayed from these ideals. Instead of prioritizing the spiritual well-being of its followers, Joni believes the network has been hijacked by personal indulgence, especially at a time when the Lamb family should have been focused on healing from the loss of Marcus Lamb. The honeymoon scandal, a breach of trust. The honeymoon controversy has become the focal point of Joni's public criticism. The fact that Daystar, which is largely funded by donations from its supporters, spent such a substantial amount of money on what could be considered a lavish personal getaway has raised eyebrows across the Christian community. Joni's claims suggest that the network's leadership, particularly under the guidance of his mother and Doug Weiss, has placed its own interests above the needs and expectations of the people who have faithfully supported the ministry over the years. For Joni, the timing of this honeymoon only added to the scandal. His mother's remarriage to Doug Weiss, which took place shortly after Marcus Lamb's passing, was already a subject of intense scrutiny. The Lamb family was still in mourning, and many followers of Daystar felt that the focus should have been on healing, both within the family and for the broader Daystar community. Instead, they saw a sudden and extravagant honeymoon funded by the very ministry that they had supported through their hard-earned money. Joni's allegation that such a large sum was spent in this manner has caused many people to question whether the leadership at Daystar truly understood the significance of financial stewardship, particularly in light of the personal tragedy the family had just experienced, marginalization, and the culture of loyalty. Joni's criticisms are not solely about the honeymoon. He has also expressed feelings of marginalization within the network's leadership, claiming that his concerns were dismissed or ignored. Joni has stated that he felt his voice was stifled, and his attempts to question the direction in which the ministry was headed were met with resistance. In his view, Daystar's leadership has created a culture where loyalty is prioritized over transparency, and dissent is not welcome. This has deeply frustrated him, especially as someone who has been closely associated with the network for his entire life. Joni's frustration is compounded by what he sees as a lack of accountability within the organization. He has described how decisions are made behind closed doors, with little regard for the opinions or concerns of those who have been part of the ministry for years. For him, this lack of openness and transparency is one of the most troubling aspects of the current leadership. The fact that Jonathan felt compelled to speak out publicly about these issues shows the extent to which he believes the organization has lost its way. He has openly criticized the leadership for being more concerned with maintaining power and control than with honoring the legacy that Marcus Lamb built. The public fallout, family divisions, and supporters' confusion. As Jonathan's allegations have become public, the fallout within the Daystar community has been swift and intense. Many supporters of Daystar, who had once viewed the Lamb family as the embodiment of Christian leadership, now find themselves torn. They are caught between their loyalty to the Lamb family and the disturbing allegations that Jonathan has brought to light. Some supporters have rallied behind Jonathan, praising his courage for speaking out and applauding his commitment to accountability and integrity. Others, however, are disheartened by the airing of family grievances in such a public manner, especially when the network's mission should be focused on spiritual growth and support for its audience. The public nature of Jonathan's criticisms has sparked an emotional debate among Daystar's followers. Some view him as a hero, exposing the deep-seated issues within the network and calling for a return to the principles upon which Daystar was founded. Others are less certain, feeling that the family should have resolved these matters privately rather than turning them into a public spectacle. The controversy has left many Daystar supporters feeling confused and disillusioned, wondering whether the network they once trusted is still operating according to the values that made it successful in the first place. Tracking Jonathan, an alleged breach of privacy. In addition to the allegations surrounding financial mismanagement, Jonathan has made another shocking revelation that has only intensified the scrutiny on Daystar's leadership. He has claimed that the network's security team secretly installed a tracking device on his vehicle. This claim raises serious concerns about privacy, trust, and the lengths to which Daystar's leadership may go to monitor and control its own family members. The idea that a ministry, which claims to stand for transparency, faith, and service, would resort to such extreme measures is deeply unsettling to many who have supported Daystar over the years. Jonathan's discovery of the tracker on his vehicle has added a new layer of complexity to the growing controversy. He has described how he felt violated and intimidated upon realizing that he was being monitored in such a personal and invasive manner. For Jonathan, this breach of privacy is symbolic of a larger problem within Daystar, a culture of fear and control rather than one of openness, faith, and trust. The fact that Daystar's leadership would feel the need to monitor a family member so closely speaks to the growing rift within the organization and the profound tension that exists between Jonathan and the rest of the Lamb family. The wider implications, a ministry at a crossroads. The allegations and revelations surrounding Daystar Television Network are not just about one family's internal struggles. They have broader implications for the future of the ministry itself. As more and more details come to light, the question becomes whether Daystar can recover from this scandal. Can it regain the trust of its supporters and move forward, or has this controversy irreparably damaged its credibility? The honeymoon scandal, the alleged tracking device, and Jonathan Lamb's outspoken criticism have opened a Pandora's box of concerns about accountability, transparency, and ethical leadership. Many are left wondering whether the network will be able to confront these issues head-on and restore the public's faith in its mission. For some, the damage may already be done, and the future of Daystar may be uncertain as long as these allegations continue to cast a shadow over the organization. As the situation unfolds, the future of Daystar Television Network hangs in the balance. Will the Lamb family be able to reconcile their differences and restore unity within the ministry? Or will these public disputes continue to erode the foundation of one of Christian broadcasting's most prominent names? The answers to these questions will have far-reaching consequences, not only for the Lamb family but for the millions of people who have followed Daystar over the years. Only time will tell how this drama will unfold and what the lasting impact will be on the ministry that was once built on faith, trust, and service to others. Doug Weiss and the growing rift. The role of Doug Weiss in the Daystar Television Network has been a focal point of controversy within the Lamb family. Since Joni Lamb's marriage to Doug Weiss, the atmosphere within the family has shifted dramatically, intensifying existing tensions and sparking a wave of emotions throughout the Daystar community. Doug's sudden rise to prominence within the ministry has served as a catalyst for a host of debates about loyalty, leadership, and the future of the network. From the moment that Joni Lamb, the co-founder of Daystar and a central figure in the Christian broadcasting community, announced her engagement to Doug Weiss, questions were immediately raised about his role within the organization. Doug, a relationship counselor and author with a background in marriage and family therapy, was not initially associated with the religious broadcasting world. Instead, he brought with him a more clinical, therapeutic perspective, which contrasted sharply with the faith-based approach that Daystar had traditionally taken. The marriage, which followed the death of Joni's husband, Marcus Lamb, in November 2021, raised eyebrows and led to speculation about Doug's intentions and his place within the ministry. Jonathan's discontent and concerns. For Jonathan Lamb, Joni's son and the son of Marcus and Joni Lamb, Doug's presence has sparked significant concern. Jonathan has expressed his dismay over the rapid incorporation of Doug into the leadership structure of Daystar, feeling that it undermines the legacy that Marcus Lamb worked so hard to establish. Jonathan has been an integral part of Daystar since its inception, having grown up within the organization and witnessing firsthand its rise to prominence in the Christian broadcasting community. His mother and father were the driving forces behind Daystar's message of faith, hope, and community, and Jonathan felt a deep sense of responsibility to continue the vision his father had laid out. However, the sudden and prominent presence of Doug Weiss within the organization has led to feelings of marginalization and frustration on Jonathan's part. In Jonathan's view, the timing of Doug's rise to prominence within Daystar could not have been worse. He believes that the focus should have been on honoring Marcus's legacy and providing support to the grieving family, rather than bringing in a new face to take over critical roles within the ministry. For Jonathan, it felt as if the organization was bypassing its historical values of faith and community in favor of introducing an outsider with a more business-oriented and clinical approach. This has created a chasm within the Lamb family, where emotions are raw and alliances are shifting rapidly. Tensions among family members and the impact on Daystar. While some family members have embraced Doug's presence, seeing it as an opportunity for Daystar to modernize and expand its reach, others, like Jonathan, view it as an affront to the ministry's core values. The introduction of Doug Weiss into the leadership roles at Daystar has not only disrupted the internal dynamics of the Lamb family, but has also left the Daystar community feeling confused and uncertain about the network's direction. Those who support Jonathan are vocal in their concern that the focus has shifted from spiritual stewardship to personal ambition and corporate growth. They worry that Doug's leadership may push the ministry into a new direction that deviates from the traditional Christian values that Daystar has long championed. This internal discord has been particularly pronounced as Doug's growing role has also included high-profile appearances on Daystar programming. Critics argue that his position in the ministry represents a clear attempt to cement his influence within the organization, which has created further tension within the Lamb family. It has also left many viewers questioning the path that Daystar is taking and whether the network's leadership is still committed to the spiritual mission that once defined it. Allegations of abuse and troubling incidents. Adding to the already tense atmosphere are allegations of abuse that have surfaced within the family. These accusations have sent shockwaves through the Daystar community and have raised questions about the integrity of the Lamb family and the leadership at Daystar. The incident occurred during a family retreat that was meant to be a time for healing and bonding after the passing of Marcus Lamb. However, what was intended to be a period of respite and reflection took a troubling turn when an allegation of inappropriate behavior emerged involving a member of the Lamb family. Details surrounding the incident remain unclear, but the fact that such an incident could occur within an organization that has always presented an image of faith and unity has left many followers of Daystar in a state of disbelief. The fallout from this incident has been significant, with members of the Lamb family expressing anger and frustration over how the situation was handled. Jonathan, in particular, has been vocal about his dismay at the perceived lack of transparency and accountability in dealing with the situation. The incident has added another layer of complexity to the strained relationships within the Lamb family, leaving Jonathan to navigate not only the emotional fallout, but also the potential long-term implications for the ministry, covert recording, and the emergence of evidence. In a dramatic turn of events, Jonathan Lamb revealed that he secretly recorded a private family meeting that involved his mother, Joni Lamb, and the mediator Jimmy Evans. This disclosure has created an immediate firestorm of controversy, shining a spotlight on the intense tensions and divisions within the Lamb family. Jonathan's decision to record the conversation was driven by his desire to provide evidence of what he viewed as a lack of transparency and accountability within Daystar's leadership. During the meeting, Jonathan confronted Joni Lamb about the recent changes within the ministry, particularly focusing on Doug Weiss's influence and decisions related to finances and leadership. The recording captures moments of intense emotion and tension, as family members express a range of concerns, pointing to the deepening divisions and the palpable strain within the family. The use of the recording as evidence has been both praised and criticized within the Daystar community. Some individuals see it as a courageous move by Jonathan to shed light on the inner workings of Daystar, while others view it as a breach of trust that threatens to escalate the conflict further. Jonathan Lamb's controversial claims. Jonathan Lamb, the eldest son of Marcus and Joni, has been at the center of the family's growing rift. Jonathan had long been seen as the heir apparent to the leadership of Daystar, a role he believed was his by right. Marcus Lamb, his late father, had spoken often about the possibility of Jonathan assuming a leadership role at the network after his passing. However, in the wake of Marcus's death, the reality of Daystar's future leadership took a different turn. Jonathan claims that his exclusion from leadership discussions and his eventual dismissal from Daystar was a direct result of his mother's marriage to Doug Weiss and the influence that Doug has rapidly gained within the organization. Jonathan, having worked his way up within the network, believed that he was the natural choice to lead Daystar after his father's death. He contends that his father's intentions were clear. Marcus had planned for Jonathan to assume a significant role in the ministry, carrying forward the family legacy that Marcus had spent decades building. However, in the aftermath of Marcus's death, Jonathan was sidelined, a decision that he insists was influenced heavily by his mother's new marriage. He has been outspoken in his frustration, accusing Doug Weiss of using his influence to alter the direction of Daystar and minimize Jonathan's involvement in key leadership decisions. This has led to a growing tension not just within the family, but also among the supporters and viewers of Daystar, who now find themselves questioning the leadership of the network. Jonathan's dismissal, a turning point in the conflict. The climax of this ongoing family conflict came when Jonathan Lamb was terminated from his position as vice president at Daystar. This decision, which was publicly explained by Joni, has only fueled the ongoing controversy surrounding the Lamb family. According to Joni, Jonathan's performance had not met the expectations set for him, particularly in his oversight of the prayer department, which had seen a significant decline in employee retention and morale under his leadership. Jonathan's extended absences from work and lack of engagement with the departments he was responsible for only compounded the problems, leading to his placement on a performance improvement plan, PIP. Despite Joni's claims that Jonathan was given every opportunity to improve, the termination was seen by many as a culmination of the family's fractured relationships and Jonathan's own perceived failure to live up to his father's legacy. For Jonathan, however, the firing was not just about poor performance. It was a direct result of his vocal opposition to the changes taking place within Daystar under Doug Weiss's influence. He and his supporters argued that the dismissal was politically motivated and that his exclusion from leadership had more to do with family dynamics than any actual professional shortcomings. Allegations of a cover-up and family drama unfolds publicly. Amidst this growing crisis, shocking allegations of abuse involving Jonathan's daughter during a family retreat in 2021 surfaced, further complicating the situation. While Joni and Marcus Lamb have vehemently denied any wrongdoing or cover-up, the accusations have left many questioning the integrity of Daystar's leadership. Jonathan and his wife, Susie, have publicly criticized Joni and Marcus for failing to address the alleged incident in a timely and transparent manner. The tension surrounding this event has only deepened the rift between Jonathan and his mother, as he feels that the situation was mishandled and swept under the rug. In response to the allegations, Joni has maintained that the incident was a misunderstanding and that all parties involved, including Jonathan and Susie, have expressed regret and moved on. However, the public airing of these private struggles has caused irreparable damage to the family's reputation and raised questions about the transparency of Daystar's leadership. As the controversy continues to unfold, the Lamb family finds itself at a crossroads, with the potential to either heal from these wounds or be further torn apart by the deepening divisions. The future of Daystar. Can the Lamb family reconcile? The future of Daystar television network now hangs in the balance. The once strong foundation of the Lamb family has been shattered, and the network's ability to continue its mission of faith and unity is being called into question. Supporters of Jonathan argue that the only way for Daystar to regain its integrity is for the family to reconcile and restore the leadership that Marcus Lamb had envisioned for his son. Others, however, believe that Joni's leadership, alongside Doug Weiss, is the way forward for the ministry. As the Lamb family continues to navigate this turbulent period, the question remains: can they heal the wounds that have been inflicted upon them? Or is this the beginning of the end for Daystar, as it has been known? The future of the network and the Lamb family's legacy rests on their ability to reconcile their differences and rebuild trust, not just within the family but also with the millions of viewers who have followed their ministry for decades.